Hey guys, this is Dave Campbell with another Dave Campbell short. Um, I just found this place. It's absolutely gorgeous. It's such a quiet day. It's a beautiful day. It's February 3rd. And yeah, I just wanted to blabber about something. What are we going to talk about today here? It's so perfect. I almost want to take a nap instead of talk. But why don't we talk about love? Why don't we talk about Christ, the love of Christ? Christ is not possible to appreciate the power of Christ is not possible without experiencing the devastation of Antichrist. Oh, that's terrible to say that, but it's our state of being. We're dual natured, or we've got two sides, a left and a right. You split us down the middle. We look pretty much the same on one side as the other. And I'll tell you my top to bottom theory one of these days. It's a little graphic. But anyway, Christ's love is as unexplainable as it would be for me to try to explain how all this beauty that we're seeing is created. How do you speak matter into existence and organize it like this so it's perfect for our human perception and our human enjoyment? How do you fall in love with a person and feel those wonderful emotions? How do you enjoy the smell of a pine tree? You know, why wouldn't you take a bite of an apple? Does it taste good? It's a little bit sour. Well, our state of being calls for contrasts. So, the love of God, the love of Christ, there was my shoulder popped, as a story, to try to spin it into a story, to try to explain our state of being, I think is what really is the challenge of religions and science. That's why I've come up with the conclusion that knowledge is really our guide on, and expression is the agreement that we put together in letters and languages, right? So that we can act in concert as a society. So, Dave, you were going to talk about love. I think I am talking about love. Whether you're an agnostic or a creationist, I think it really doesn't matter. You're going through a phase of learning. Everybody goes through learning, and eventually you're going to come to the conclusion that our state of being calls for expression and agreement, and we're always looking for truth or what works in relationship to accessing resources, right? I think that's a pretty solid discovery from your friend Dave here. So love is acting in a manner that other people will attribute the warm fuzzies of being seen as a loving act, right? His shoulder's getting sore. I'm going to switch hands. So, calling our country to love one another, like when Abraham Lincoln called a national day of fasting a long, long time ago, when the nation was in such turmoil. It's a good idea. I'm not going to call for a national day of fasting because I'm about a porterhouse steak away from 300 pounds. I've never been this big. So I'm not going to ask you to fast if I can't. But what I will do is I'll ask you to pray. And if you're not a Christian or any religious person, you don't have any religious beliefs, that's fine. Contemplate, meditate on how we're going to put this time of tribulation behind us, this turbulent global problem we have of kleptocracy, how we're going to do that. And I think you're going to come up with the same conclusion as I have, and that's we got to do peaceful, ethical project development. So scientists, Christians, Democrats, Republicans, every culture, you can get behind this message and find more about it at regenerationmodel.com and learn more about Dave Campbell, this guy talking to you today about love. And let's love the neighbor as the self. That's the end of the gospel. That's the end time judgment. That's the final judgment. You people who are hanging on to the apocalypse as the end time where everybody gets destroyed and only the righteous people get to escape and go to heaven, you need to dig a little deeper and get some updating on your interpretations. The end time is when we love our neighbor as ourselves, and that is a time of great unity and great prosperity for the whole world. We do put the race of man at that point is symbolically gone, dead, because when you turn to love, you take on the knowledge of a God. Okay, again, if you don't believe on God, you take on the knowledge of the highest knowledge, and that is we got to work together to get society up, nurture human beings, and the benefit of that is we get to learn more knowledge, because in order to find knowledge, you have to go through your learning, experiential learning, and reach toward the truth of how to access a resource you don't yet have. How do you find that? Usually through need and desire, always through desire. So learn more. Regenerationmodel.com used to be called generationexodus.com, but it's not that anymore. Regenerationmodel.com. I'm Dave Campbell. Leave a comment. Thanks.